Nah. Well, I'm not sure what to expect here tonight, but I am awfully bloody excited for our final ever Jag race. We say final, you can never say never. That sounds way too loud. I'm actually going to turn it off. That's better. So we've got 50 cars here at Kyalami for the support race tonight. And if you're here for a good time and a clean time, you've joined the wrong race. Fairly sure this is our first ever full grid for a support race. And it's great to see the turnout and their support here for the Jaguar. It's a 20-minute race followed after qualifying, which is coming up. So strap in, strap on, and get ready. Welcome to the stream, David McNulty and Patrick Oliver. How are we?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am struggling at the moment. Yeah, Bill Gates, microchip upgrades not going so good. How are you?
Fuck. I'm going alright, mate. Better than that by the sounds of it. How about you, Patrick?
Yeah. Evening, Marl. Evening, Bender. Evening, Chad. I'm feeling pretty good tonight. Excited for this little support race here and the pro finals tonight.
If this is the only thing you watch this week, you'll be happy, I reckon. This is going to be quite interesting. Following this race, after the checkered flag, we're going to have a wall of pain. We pretty much want to see a car park of Jaguars all in bits. But we'll see who's prepared for that. If you don't go into the wall at the end, I think we should ban you. I reckon that's the new rule. But 50 cars. Good luck to everyone trying to qualify in 8 minutes. Oh, this is going to be fucking great. Oh, David, did you see last night in the Pro-Am finals, qualifying was wet and then it tricked everyone back to dry? Like, it was out of the blue because the server's actually set to a pretty low chance of rain.
I'm not surprised. I didn't see it, but I'm not surprised.
Maybe we might see some more of the same tonight in the Pro Finals. Maybe we even get a bit of moisture out there. It's the same setting, so you never know. Obviously, this race is set to dry because we want everyone to try and make it to the end. You'll also see there's a lot of cars out there with this fucking gold livery. And that's because these drivers have actually completed the season in the Jaguar, knowing full well that it wasn't super competitive. And they've named themselves the real MVPs. Very modest.
Shout out to the real MVPs.
The real OGs. Unfortunately, we couldn't see George Fowler tonight. He's been racing in the AM class finals. He couldn't make it tonight. Which is great to see him out there because he's another driver that's actually gone all the way through the series in the Jag. Does 50 Jags fulfill Mullock's promise of a hot tub stream for a full grid? Well,
yes.
Basically, yes. But I don't know when though, but
it can be your triumphant return to Twitch.
Because the next time,
its own little category over there.
The next time I do jump on Twitch, it will be in a hot tub. As you can see, the track map is, some will say disgusting.
Quite chaotic out here already.
Look at all of them backed up. You're only really going to get a couple of rolls of the dice here. If you invalidate, you're in big trouble. And slicing through this field, probably not going to be easy either, as well. G'day Jan, g'day chat, how are we? It's lovely to see you all. Thank you for the $5 there, George Fowler. So tonight we've got our Pro Finals. It's a dead heat for the top two steps. Jeremy Talbot and Andy O'Hara are equal leaders at the moment. Congratulations last night to Kieran Potter, who claimed P1, the P1 Pro-Am champion. Fantastic job. I think it was Megan D that finished second.
Hasn't he really improved over the last couple of years, or was going to say years, couple of seasons rather hotter. I
He
remember when
has.
he joined, and he was racing me at the back. And now look at him.
This is actually his second Pro-Am championship. He won a couple of seasons ago, but he had a bit of a miss in between. So he's out there tonight, and he'll be in Pro Class for next season, 100%. If you're looking to sign up for the Asia Pacific Sprint Series next season, it is full. So please be aware of that. You will be placed on a waiting list, and as soon as the seat opens up, we will slot you in. And this time it's a lot easier to slot you in because when the seat opens up, you can put every car on there you want. Thank Lord. Because that's obviously been very strategic on my end. Also, North America and Europe, there's about 10 seats left in both of your regions, so we've got a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, I think, before that series starts. I really do like the looks of the Jag. I just love the shape of it. What do you think?
It is a nice looking car.
Front looks like it's
Shame.
got like a big surprise face.
It does. Patrick is actually out on track, so we're on board with Patrick right now.
Be a shame if he binned it.
Did you check your driver ID, Pat?
Sorry sir, I didn't bring it today.
That's fair. Why is that showing the mirror? That's better. Sad because the season is over, but happy that we've made it through and on to the next one. 63% brake bias, they're saying, or whatever. Haven't really driven the Jag much, so take it
I
that
just
what
put
you
mine
will.
on a cool number apparently.
Put it on 69.
Yeah, I don't get the joke, but yeah.
He can be our hero, baby. Enrique Iglesias. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I was on the helmet cam. It's quite amusing. If you look at those times, Bender, they're very tight. That is epic. I know there's 50 cars out there, but wow.
Yeah. No, very tight. Also, Enrique Iglesias, man. That's taking me back to like 2008. I haven't heard that name.
You can be my hero. Need more race. I know, 50 cars. We should have seen this last night in the Super Trofeo. Jag's got a bit of a cult following. Another person that's joining us tonight in the commentary booth, Frank Frankfurt. Nice name there. Colour wheels equal Angry Mullock. But that kind of works though, that car, with those colour wheels. I've seen worse, and I've also seen worse driving last night, Frank, who's decided to kill half the grid at Alton Park.
He's actually done well with that colour scheme, I reckon.
Don't give him too much props.
Oh, look. I said he's done well. He's not done a great job. He's made it look okay. My eyes aren't vomiting, so that's a start.
Or is it going to be moved made here at qualifying? Obviously, it's a big no-no, but it is Franco, and I don't care if you give him a bit of a tap.
Oh, bit of a tap, I reckon, maybe.
Nah, nothing in it. Didn't see anything there. Still got a few drivers yet to set a time. Good luck to those drivers. Jordan, that livery is in the little hall of shame. Not as bad as last night's effort by Samwise Holmes, which was probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Whoa, very loosey here, Jordan. Pinky Winky. Is that a Teletubby?
Yes, it is.
Correct.
I believe that was the purple Teletubby.
Pinky Winky. But I don't need to explain too much, Benny. Everyone will know now that you're a massive fan of the Teletubbies.
I think it's Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky. Oh no. Poe? Is that another one?
Yeah, that's what I used to get called at school.
Poe?
Because that's my initials.
Ah. You've
Is
ever
that the red
watched
one?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Teletubbies win anyway. Tipsy Whipsy. I can't remember the others, but they were funny.
La la.
Lala. Ryan Bell. So it looks like the BDE team's got a few cars out there, perhaps. Ryan was too cool to actually put his team name down, but he's P2. Benjamin Piper, not about the custom livery life, just going to pick one straight off the bat. Oh, there's a little tap. Sort of things to come. Nathan Harvey. Caravan.
Yeah, well, he's returned to the pits out of shame there. Perhaps he was thinking, if I get out of this spot fast enough, the stewards won't see that there was a 2-car accident. They'll just think someone's parked it.
Well, if you haven't set a time and you're starting from the back of this grid, you are going to have an interesting night. Ryan Duong, who's extremely pacey, is going to be starting from 47th. Dan Joseph's got some pace as well. He's going to be starting at the back.
Jong's team name is very apt. My eyes.
Some fresh names in there, which is great. Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. Thank you, Princey. Pinky Wink is a whole other thing. Thanks, Cameron.
Don't you remember, was it the vacuum that was pretty like sus most of the time? It was like a really big vacuum.
On Teletubbies?
Yeah.
Not really. I remember Johnson and Friends more. Don't everyone remembers that with the water bottle and... speaking of struggling, oh, I can't look at it. Times are very, very close there for qualifying. I'm sure T1 is going to be completely clean. Look, I don't even think we can give this justice. We might just have to go drone cam, Bender.
I was going to say, you got to just hold it over T1 because there's going to be 5 wide at some point.
You know what's funny? I've been sifting through all of the OOR Twitch clips for ACC, and 75% of them are big crashes in the first 2 corners at Kyalami.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. People get a little bit too confident around here because it's such a wide circuit. Mind you, you could probably make about 3 hours of footage of Imola starts.
Like Mario with the green flag.
Yep. Interested if this is the BDE team. Why? That one's red. Have they not shared the livery around enough? So let's go to the scene of the crime, I reckon.
Always one person that just wants to be different, you know?
What is it building over there? Okay.
It's Parliament House.
I love the fact that this has been added in. Just this one. Oh no, shit, here I'm going. Oh no.
You lost, mate.
There it is. Yeah, so this is the scene of the crime right here. Turn 2. And this is the fence we want to see everyone plummel into. At the end. Is that gravel? Is that gravel or is like hard? Oh no, that's gonna hurt. That isn't gonna slow them up. That's perfect.
It's a lot like crushed rock.
Yep.
So that go-kart track in the middle is looking pretty nice.
It's about to turn into a go-kart track here. 50 cars, Kyalami, Jaguar. Wonder if I can do some reverse drone cams, or should I just... I don't know, it's going to be something. If not, it'll be content. Rightio, the farewell Jaguar race is about to start. 50 cars, Kyalami. Good luck, everybody. We're away here. It is a sickening looking grid. I'm just going to go straight down to turn 2 because this is where it's going to kick off. Can we make 50 cars through here? I have told them to take it pretty easily because although that's a missile.
Bang.
Well, I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse. I've seen a lot worse with half the cars. Oh, as someone goes, so will you just delete us there from a car? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh my goodness. Whoever that car is, that car control to save it is absolutely unreal. A lot of these drivers, it'll probably be the first time in the Jaguar.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them will be saying, is that car even in the game? It's not really one that you think of driving.
Oh, unlucky Pigger. You had to get in early here tonight. So, Corey Sweet again, sweating hard at this track because he's not in the final series. So he just pretty much just showing me that he should have been.
He did think I'd want to set up before, so just sent it for no reason. So he's obviously been working on it all day.
He loves it. Daniel O'Donnell, that is very pink. Some would say a too pink. Which one do you prefer? John's, oh yuck, actually, there's no brainer. That's disgusting, John.
I was about to say, which one do you prefer? And you're about to go to the car that's...
And then I realised this,
like
how
vomit.
bad it was. Patrick Oliver, you're in danger.
I'm about to get bullied.
Sit inside. Yep.
Send it.
Oh, you're just a bit late. Oh, you're going to lose out. At least no deaths occurred. We'll just flick through a little bit. Oh, there's one. Bugden. Truffle pasta.
Oh, whoops, I didn't change my name.
Oh, there's a few offs at the background. There's a lot of scuffling, which you expect at 50 cars at any circuit. It's putting on one of the worst ones to race with a lot of vehicles. Oh, Tristan, be careful with that. They're going to go side by side. Looks like Lockie Nichols. He will not leave any questions unanswered out there. Sorry, that's Tristan Moore.
Oh, this is going to get dicey. Oh, there's contact. There it is. Oh, they're going to slide up across the track.
It's just so hard to find
F.
all the positions you want to watch. Let's try and find out how Franco's going. We should go on board with him in a second. No, he's boring down there. We'll go back to truffle pasta. Do you like truffle pasta, Bender?
It's a good name. Yeah, I don't mind truffle pasta.
Oh, that was close. So there might be 50 cars there, but they're spread out pretty heavily already. Jiwong has come from 47th. He's up to 24th.
He's just a casual plus 23 positions in the first 4 minutes.
What do you reckon? Should we watch that early start there for him? Just to see what he's gained, because that is staggering.
That's a lot of positions. I reckon it's worth a watch.
Actually, he's actually started from last. Alright, so we're going to watch on board with Jiwong in a second. In loving memory. There's all this support and love for the Jaguar. You just love to see it. Just love to see it. Don't really know why. Okay, so let's go on board with Jiwong's race start. He's starting from the very, very back of the grid here. Didn't really go too much early. Oh, and he's got front damage.
Oh,
there's five, six
right.
places. It's all about just avoiding what's going on around you.
Yep, there you go. So it's at the 37th already after sector 1. Gets a couple around the outside there. Nicely done.
Oh, the seas have parted. Oh, I can see why he's moved up. There's another 5 or 6. So he's surely not 37th now. Where is he?
There were two parked on the last corner. I don't know what happened there.
Come on, update game. He's not 37th.
Yeah, 6 positions there. So 19 positions in the first lap.
So far. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, there's hay from the...
So what, 22 positions gained on the first lap. It didn't up, yeah, there it is, yeah. 22 positions on lap 1. Oh, wow.
It's a fantastic start.
Love to see it.
Let's see who's at the pointy end. So, Corey Sweet leads the way from a few BDE Motorsport cars. Then there's a big gap to 5th. O'Donnell's by himself. I think it's safe to say that, oh, there's a bit off here. Bit of argy-bargy. There's some McKinns. Oh, scary corner, that one. It's Cheetah. So now the grid spread out a little bit. So what we've done in the server files is at the end of the race, the actual countdown is, I think we've got it set to 5 minutes. So won't skip over to the next session, so we get a lot of drivers have a chance to bin it into the fence, which is what we want to see. That's all we're here for, to be honest.
We just want to see death.
A wrecking yard, yep. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, this is where we're going to be starting Season 7 at Kyalami. This will be round 1. The remaining circuits will be announced once the cars are locked in and the teams are, or the grids are locked in for next season. But this is round 1.
Yep, or alternatively you can go back and watch, what, maybe it was last week's stream or the week before. And I was with you and Franco, and you're asking me, what tracks aren't we racing at next season, Bender? And I rattled a few off, and then you guys were just sitting there and so he's picking all the ones that are going to be in Season 7. Stop asking questions now.
Yeah, there's a few races, obviously we haven't mentioned them yet. That's not a bit different. Nice little battle here for 7th. Oh, wow, what a save by Tristan Moore.
Go Brown, go Brown.
So, Paddy, you're up to 6th, mate. Can you get top 5? Good talks.
Please don't tell me to abort my fastest lap just yet.
No. Sorted themselves out here. Kyalami is a great little circuit for those that haven't raced here before. One of my faves, and it quickly became one of my faves. I hadn't driven on Kyalami until I actually got this sim. I think they spent about 25 million on the circuit. 2016 or around that area. It's fantastic.
You can play. What grade has it got now? Is it Category 1 or
yeah,
Category 2?
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's Category 1. Yep. The historic version of this circuit's actually on Automobilista 2, if anyone wants to play that. It's also a lot of fun as well. It goes the opposite direction and only is about half the current track. It's at the top end. Don't know if you can actually see it in the game.
I think it's only 2, right? Because wasn't there talks about the FIA not wanting to invest in it to make it 1?
Not 100% sure.
Pretty sure.
See, that isn't the actual circuit on the outside. That's just like a supply road. I'd love to see the F1s here as Ryan Green drifts through a cheetah. Wouldn't want to do that too often.
No, he was heading to a wall very quickly there, but managed to steer clear.
I've seen the biggest snap moment in my rear vision mirror.
We're about to come up to it now. Car's off. Slight contact. So 9 minutes to go. Put about 4 or 5 laps left. Oh, jeez. Geong's currently 19th. So he made 22 positions on that opening lap. Oh, he's been squeezed into oblivion. We didn't want to give up that spot. And, oh wow, and there was a yeetus from Thomas McGinn. So getting a little bit sloppy now towards the middle section of this race.
Gonna say they did well to not end up spinning across the track there.
Love this little downhill section through Mine Shaft and into the Crocodiles. Kyalami have the best corner names of any circuit in ACC. Changed my mind. Just love it. Le Cop. That's at the top, I think. This might be Inui. Oh, and that's out. James Pierre is super fun. I don't think that was what he had in his bingo ticket though.
No, that didn't really look super fun.
Should we give... probably won't this time, but I've been giving Corey Sweet penalties during these races. I don't mind the livery. It reminds me of something else, but I'm obviously not a fan of Chrome. If you want Chrome, you should probably play Need for Speed Underground.
I was about to say, it was giving me Need for Speed vibes with the livery, you know, the chrome and like the fire on the side. That's what it was reminding me of.
Well, let's go full Need for Speed with a bit of Far Chase.
Oh, Chase. Jamie Saxon, where are you? Tune in right now, mate.
It's acceptable because it isn't a league race. This is the worst camera ever. Oh, and that is...
Who's that? Potter.
Potter, our Pro-Am champion, has deleted himself. I reckon he's made a moment at cheater. Linton, be very ashamed of what your car looks like, mate. Daniel O'Donnell, please bin him.
McDonald's car in front of me.
Yes. Right in front of you, that's Jacob, someone. Civillager. They're obviously a lap down. Blue flag, blue flag. Forces India. That's the vibes I was getting. That's very well picked up. Early Force India. It's pretty much Rocket League.
I miss some of the Force India liveries. 2014, 2015. I reckon those they just look so good, particularly under lights. The orange, the green, white, black.
Not a fan of the pink Force India / Racing Point.
Oh yeah, I liked it. I just thought the old one was better.
Very happy that our Aston Martin, iconic brand, great livery, solid set of drivers. Sebastian Vettel, the real MVP.
Yeah, he is. it's every weekend something comes out, and then you just think that you can't love this guy anymore, but somehow you do.
Exactly.
Supposedly running a James Bond tribute livery for the No Time to Die movie coming out this week or soon. They're running it at Monza.
Are they really?
I think they're just going to have 007 on the front part of the car somewhere, yeah.
It's got to be silver, doesn't it? It has to be silver. If they've got a James Bond theme. It has to have guns. They might win if they've got to have guns.
Yeah.
Aston Martin might be a shoe-in here at Monza.
If you're having any part to do with James Bond, you have secret shortcuts and everything.
There's got to be a tank in there somewhere as well that you're going to ram off the road. Driven by the one and only Pastor Maldonado.
Nah, Nicholas Latifi for the day.
I was about to say, I hear Nicholas Latifi's a bit of a tank driver.
Ooh. Ooh, don't know what happened there. This is very tiptoey. Right, back onto the track. Tom's you've got some technical issues here. It's unfortunate. The wall of pain. We need everyone involved. Everyone's still out there too. You started the race. You're still out there on track. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Bond movie coming out. It's been delayed a couple of times, hasn't it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it has been delayed a couple of times.
So 2 minutes to go. The leaders, where are they sitting? So looking for car 32. Oh, look out. Well, game. Great view. Ooh, no, that's off. So I think this is Le Coupe. It is very Force India. Surely the Jags. Yeah, give us a like or a subscription, or both, or better yet, join. Can you give everyone a DT? No, not tonight. Let them go, because we want them in order, smashing into the... No, Corey gets a stop go 30, just by default. So this is penultimate lap. All modes of the cars have seen better days. Well, if they realise P2 is right behind. Oh no, what's going on over there? Stay out of this alley. This is about to kick off. Oh, around the outside. I still have... Oh, well, they've done it. They've gone and done it. So, where should we watch? Should we watch the fence? Because I think we're going to have to watch the fence.
We have to watch the fence. As soon as Corey crosses the line, we've got to swap to the fence.
I hope everyone's informed.
Well, it's been on Discord, so... If you don't know, you're not paying attention, that's just bad luck.
Well, not just bad luck. It's a good way to weed out the people that don't read announcements.
Well, they're all here, so they must have read some announcement. Or someone's already in the wall. Someone's already there. They are keen.
That's commitment. The race isn't over yet.
Oh, that's the one way to delete him. If you need to make a move, that's the optimal strategy, but probably going to be badly looked at by the stewards. What are you doing, Donald? That was fucking... That wasn't great, to be honest. You got to look at your MFD. You're racing someone that's a lap up. Oh, dear, oh dear.
Leader has finished race.
Right, leaders finished a race, and that means one thing. Wall of pain time. Please leave your cars there. Tray tables up. Oh no.
Will we see someone clear the fence? Like what I did to you many, many years ago at Hungary.
Just did.
Wow.
My car was on its roof and I got teleported.
Oh, if you go too far inside.
Hold on, I'll be there again. Just got to come back from the pits.
Oh, wow! Someone's just done a 720.
That barrel roll was amazing.
What the fuck? That was a 1080 no scope.
Who was that? Oh, Tango down.
That is absolutely unreal. Oh my goodness. This worked out way better than I was expecting. Oh. I just hope, I wish the game didn't put you back to the pits if you end up on your roof.
Yeah.
Oh dear. We have to watch that back where
That was just insane.
oh.
They're still going.
Well, that's the scene to send off the Jaguar for Season 6. 50 cars, one fence, coming to a movie store near you. Oh my goodness. If it teleports you back, it means you ended up on your lid. Well. New promo photo for OOR. Basically, this is how our legs is. If you've never watched OOR before, there's a lot of DQs out there. I have a puncher. Once this kicks over, we have to go to the pro finals, but we will find the clip. I want to see the car that did the 1080, because that was impressive.
Damn left rear won't pop.
Thank you everyone for jumping in this race. It's fantastic. Great content. That might end up all over social media, I think. I'd love to see it. Saved rating shouldn't be too bad. It's a stupid, pointless figure anyway. But we move on to qualifying for the pros. We're at Barcelona. The real stuff.
I'll be back in a sec, just leaving my rig.
We'll go over the points shortly. Just gonna set things up. Thank you very much for the donation, Hamster. He says, a proper farewell to the Jag. Fitting. Fitting indeed. So we've got 26 drivers tonight. You can still hear what's going on at the track. I don't know why. That's better. Right, so I'm board with Callum Gibbons in the McLaren. McLaren's not too shabby around here. Most of the cars are pretty decent. But this car will reward you if you have faith in it. So currently leading the way in the championship, we've got Andrew O'Hara and Jeremy Talbot. So look out for car 51 and car number 1, last year's pro champion. If we go over last week's results. So both Jeremy and Andrew have 118 points. They have a 22-point lead over P3, which is Zachary Smith. On 96, we have Ryan Houlihan on 88 points, Mitch Hobb 84, Philip Bakita 76, Ben Floyd 75, Bruno Gallo 68, Daniel Ladini 62, and in the top 10, Sean Madison with 56 points. There are 161 points on offer, maximum for the evening. So, unless you're 161 points behind, you've still got a chance to win mathematically. So, as you saw last week, Bakita got the win in race 1. Excuse me, but finished 26th, which is a lot of points lost, but still a big chance here tonight. Race 1 last week, it was Bakita, Smith, O'Hara. Race 2 was Talbot, O'Hara, Hobbs.
Yep, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out tonight. So far, 7 minutes still to go in qualifying. Houlihan leads.
On board with, excuse me, Andrew O'Hara. Yes, Franco, if you can.
Hello.
Hello. How'd you go?
Yeah, actually.
Didn't kill anyone tonight?
No, I didn't. I managed to be a good boy tonight.
Well done.
So, started about P27 and I think I got P17 in the end of it. So
You played yourself though with your wheels, mate, because it actually suited the car. Didn't look bad. If they were pink wheels, then yes, I would have been fuming.
yeah, you obviously saw the team name.
I did. Andrew O'Hara's just gone P1 as Bakita just crosses the line and goes P1. So some usual suspects up the pointy end. Talbot's currently sitting in 5th. We've got Reynolds and Ross yet to set a time. Reynolds is in his brand new rig. Surely he didn't build it just today. He's got a TR 160. I gave myself 4 to 5 days to get that built. He's done it in a day.
Well, he would be a very tired boy if he's finished that all in one day.
Yep.
So that's impressive, building that in a day.
Maybe he started yesterday, but either still, he's only had less than 24 hours. No more broken pedal plate for Ashland.
So Bakita on it very early on. Obviously you want to make up for the disappointment in race 2 last week, losing a bucket of points to Andy O'Hara and Talbot. So doing good work early on, but needs to follow it up in race 2 as well.
Quite tight. We saw last night, it was fantastic across the board for the Pro-Ams. Both races pretty much. Well, that's wide, that's avoidance.
That's the alternate track layout.
Yeah, that wet qualifying really threw a spanner in the works and tightened everyone up, which was a lot of fun. I don't think
Yes,
many
certainly
people
did.
were prepared for the wet.
Nah, a lot of people sweat dry, and that's fair enough. But it's always good to get some wet laps in. At least have a wet setup and know how to drive it differently if it is wet. Connor Kingston got caught out a little bit last night. Had a couple of really good races, but starting from the 20th, it's always hard to make it through such a competitive field, especially without incident or without issues. So we've got everyone on the board here for a time. Reynolds is 26 out of 26, so it's a fair effort to set it up, his new rig, but it's another thing to actually get it all set up correctly to your own preferences, where it's where your pedal plates are, where your wheel deck is. It takes a bit of fine tuning. I'm still doing mine. Hot tip, don't start a dry race on wets. It does not turns out it doesn't work.
I saw that last night, and unfortunately just resulted in a teleport back to the pits and basically losing a lap.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, when he went straight on in turn 1.
Far out. Oopsie.
Meanwhile, Bruno Gallo's got this in P4 at the moment, so not a bad start from him with 3 minutes, or 3.5 minutes left to go in quali.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, seems to be finding it a little bit. You notice he's sometimes having to correct his steering. It's not one fluid motion, so still fighting the rear of that Ferrari a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, less than a second between P4 and P23. Like, that's what you're here to see in Pro Finals, I think.
Yep, insane. Let's just go further down the order then. So Matthew Lamb, who's no slouch whatsoever, 1.7 seconds back, sitting at the back end, is currently up 5 tenths. So that gap between the top will shrink a little. Next best is Cameron Ross, who's in the pits at the moment. So where's this going to place him? P20. Scott Blair. Whoa.
Someone's got shot.
Who's that? You all good?
Yeah,
Hello?
That's me, I think. It's all good.
That person's no longer alive. It's alright.
Just was a pizza delivery man late, Franco?
It's a rough neighbourhood.
That's what you
You
get
get
for
used
ordering
to it.
pineapple.
You get used to it after a while.
It's Australia Post.
Oh, they would be here on time. Scott Blair sitting 21st. Shooty down at 24th. Let's go back up the pointy end. 3 tenths separates Houlihan from the pole. He's up 3 tenths now. Oh, nice exit there. Doesn't quite carry as much as he wants. He'll move up. P2.
I think what we're seeing with the steering inputs here, especially with these two Ferraris towards Sector 3, is your tyres have been working a lot in that middle and last sector, so they're probably coming to that edge, that knife edge that they've probably had their setups on, and they just have to do that little bit more wheel work to get the car to go where you want it to go.
So much so he stepped out.
Yeah, this track notorious for especially the left-hand side.
Yep.
The car be very punishing on the tyres.
Yep, I'm sure you saw me under safety car yesterday. My rights were light blue compared to my lefts, which were green, which turned out poorly for me.
Yeah, balance with Sampson pressure is always very important.
Yeah.
Talbot's currently on the same par as previous laps. Gibbons is up a couple of tenths.
We must have seen Hooley split the two of Akita and O'Hara on that last lap.
Yep.
That's a good lap from him.
Talbot to get one more in here, assuming he's got fuel to do it. He goes P4.
So just 1.3 seconds back. Ashland Reynolds sitting in 23rd. That's how tight it is here. So if you find a couple of good sectors, you're going to have a mammoth gain in positions to start this race.
Yeah, and it's not exactly as if the Nissan is the problem, because he's teammates missing. He's currently sitting in P13, so there's definitely time in that car.
Yeah, 3:10 separates those guys. 10 positions. Crazy. So Houlihan and O'Hara are both done. They're in the pits. Bakita currently our pole getter. Unless there's a miracle lap for one of these drivers. Yeah, the last chicane here is a bit of a bitch.
It's where you can lose and gain the most time. Especially if you clobber those inside curbs.
That's right.
Maybe one of the more surprising names that we're seeing outside the top 15 is Jaguar. Yeah, he had an amazing quali last week at Nürburgring, so I reckon he's got a lot to show in the race, and it'll be interesting to see him try and work his way up through all these magnificent drivers.
Hunter gains a little bit. Sorry there. It's P6. Bakita did improve. Oh, Stephen Ty's on a bit of a fly. Up 4 tenths. 5 tenths. This will be a lot of positions. Possibly top 5. If you can put this little section together. Great little dance here in the final. Roll of the dice up to P4. Huge.
Wow. That's a great lap.
And Gibbons just jumps him at the end as well, up to P4.
I was going to say, those 3 McLarens were all within 100th of each other at a moment there. And Gallo, Ty and Gibbons just buggered it up.
I have to say, for the winner of this series, Talbot, he's got the most work to do, currently down in P7.
This is all last week. A reverse grid, if you can nail the start and keep your nose clean, slightly more points on offer in race 2 because of the longer race.
So what do you do if you're Talbot? Do you hold back and get
no way,
or try and just get as many points? And
you never guaranteed it, so you might finish 7th,
Maximize it.
then you might start 5th or 4th, and yeah, you just got to get it. See, the gaps here are just crazy. If you take away the top 2 drivers, so O'Hara down, it's a 2nd to 23rd. It's crazy. RC bodies and talkative on stream. Yeah, nothing you can do about it now, unfortunately. All good. Don't know why that is. Maybe something's changed on my end.
Yeah, that is a great lap from Callum Gibbons. Good to see him up the pointy end. But I think this first race is just trying to maximise those points and keep your nose out of trouble here. Both races for Pro-Am gave us safety cars in the first sector, so let's hope these ladies and gentlemen can keep it nice and clean and show us what they've got and show us why they're pros.
I think my power outages over the last couple of days have changed my IP address, which is why the bot's not working.
Well, that's not ideal.
Safety car leading them out. Keita with the pole, so I think she'll be in a great opportunity to hold the lead into turn 1-2. But we saw in the Pro-Am last night that turn 1 and 2, especially for your teammates, tends to end in some tears sometimes.
I don't think I can get that going. Oh well, I'll suss it out later. Alrighty, nice colourful grid here. We got Porsche, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Audi, top 5. 3 McLarens in the top 10. Bentley snuck in there as well. It's definitely reading. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I think I know. I fucking left this late. Well, who wants to call the start here rather than listen to me problem solve?
I'll take this one. Nobody else.
I can take race 2 if you like. Don't mind.
So, 20-minute race 1. Can Philippa Bakita strike back and try and get some of the points she feels like she would have missed out on in race 2 last week? Malik does new test. Through the final chicane they go. Can pull a hand, mount a challenge into turn 1 and 2. If you can stay around the outside into turn 1, you will have the inside line into turn 2. So there's every opportunity there as they make their way down the main straight. That's spacing out, just a couple of stragglers at the back as we wait for the green flag.
We're away.
And we are away. Decent start from the top 5. A little bit of jockeying going in the mid-pack. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide. One of the Ferraris goes out wide. I think that's Gallo looking for a move around the outside of one of the McLarens. Bakita does hold P1. It's going to be 1, 2 and 3 as they were side by side through 2 and 3. And there's an Audi almost out into the weeds. Manages to hold on. And I think we are pretty stable through turns 1, 2 and 3 as they go through this long sweeping right-hander. Still 2 by 2, but it's a wide enough track you can get away with it. But this is where they're going to start having to find their own bit of racetrack as they go through into this sector 2, this downhill section. So we see a little bit of contact. There's an Audi around, and it's just been clobbered by one of the Bentleys. So that's Stephen Ty.
Facing the right way now.
That's unfortunate after his great qualifying as they make their way up the hill now. Looking like they realise they need to get back in line. They can't go side by side through this section. So other than a little bit of contact from Stephen Ty, I think everybody else is pretty much safely through.
It is hot and heavy. I will try and find out what happened to Stephen to make him face that direction.
Looked like a bit of contact with Jeremy Talbot or Dan Hunter. I think it was a McLaren.
Talbot.
I think it could have been Daniel Adini. It was turn 5, I think,
Yeah,
downhill
there was
left.
McLaren going up the inside of Adini.
That's a lot of curve.
Yeah, it took too much curve there, did that Lamborghini. Unfortunately, straight into the side of that Audi.
So RIP to the brake marker boards coming onto the back straight. Saw that get absolutely obliterated.
Could have been so much worse though with what happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Dini.
Been one of the McLarens.
Yep.
I think got a little bit of help to get straightened up as we go and watch a replay. So this is 5. Yeah, just got into the rear quarter panel and
There you go. Straightened him up.
two bros there, straightened one way then the other. Still would have been very sketchy going 3 wide into this corner.
Absolute
Nissan said thank you very much.
car park. So the front bunch kind of sorted themselves out. The gap's pretty small, but it doesn't look to be anyone trying for a move just at the moment. This mid-pack though, this is where we're going to be watching most of this race 1 because 10th position, that is pole position for race 2, and currently Sean Madison in the box seat. Talbot might be looked at for that contact on the Audi of Stephen Ty, which will drop him out of this top 10. So that means Zachary Smith, who's 3rd in the championship, potentially going to start the race, P1 for race 2, which would be a big thing. Fastest laps coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be huge implications if Talbot does pick up a pen. As I said, these gaps are not big. This race is not long, so it's going to be very hard for Talbot to outrun any pen that the stewards do deem him to get. I'm sure the stewards are going through all of lap 1 at the minute.
All cars are on track. There's no one in the pits. There's no one that's had to pit, which is a good sign.
Yeah, it was a much cleaner start than what we saw last night in race 1, that was for sure.
Just look at those gaps there, those deltas from 9th down to 18th, all less than a second.
As we see,
Ooh.
Cruz coming in.
yeah, jumping to start. That's not ideal.
You can't really blame anyone else other than yourself for that one.
Yep, the stewards have been keeping a eagle eye on those jump starts these past couple of weeks.
After Hungary Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hungary saw, I think, well, half the grid penalised or exceed speed.
Smith right on the back of Madison here around the last corner. We'll see, does the Aston have any sort of comparable legs compared to the Nissan, which is a gun down the straights? Obviously not. He's just walking him.
You can just see on the exit of that corner, just has a little bit more grunt as that Nissan, and he's
So much so.
Madison, oh, just fits down there.
Karud very well defended, but he's under all sorts of pressure here from Madison, who is also trying to keep Zachary Smith behind him as well as he goes wide onto the AstroTurf. That's not where you want to be. Just to hold on. He's about to become a foursome, maybe 5 very shortly.
What's that called, Franco?
I don't know what whatever the word for 5 is in French. Ménage à what?
It's called a pentagasm. But it's just crazy to see. That Porsche has absolutely no legs down the straight, and then it just gaps through this first and the start of the second sector.
If you look back to P18, we've got Jake Baldwin. Oh, ow.
Sorry.
Whoever that was. Branko's trying to shoot more people in his room.
Yeah.
So Jake's a chance here to maybe still get that top 10. He's within striking distance, but just getting past here when they're all single file. Scott Blair, no slouch as well. None of these drivers are a slouch. Alex Bowen, who's had no luck this season. You just never know. If you've got to stay in there 13 minutes to try and pry your way into that top 10. As Paqueta goes fastest.
It is showing that Porsche definitely has legs.
Look at that. Porsche's
Yeah, but
was here. It's
watch
gone.
this. Watch this at the end of the lap, end of the straight. I think Madison, maybe not with the Aston this close, but last lap he caught in, but the Aston's going to try around the outside. We have seen that work.
Just got to hold on.
Stick it up the inside.
Got to leave the track
Very
space.
close.
Oh, great
Nice,
driving.
respectable driving. And you go another lap. That's what it is around this place. There's not a lot of overtaking opportunities, and I think all these drivers know that, and it's good to see none of these like half moves or sticking your nose up here trying to force something. Probably best idea is trying to maximize what you can get out of it and move on to the next race.
Because there, look again. Karud. 9-10's clear. Nailing the section that he needs to nail in the Porsche. Makita Abbott ahead in the Porsche as well. 1.4 seconds clear of the Ferrari of Houlihan. O'Hara right on the back of him.
Madison's just turned into the mother duckling and just dragging along these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars behind him.
Well, last lap, Madison was a 44.8. Bakita 42.7. So Bakita's absolutely flying, but he hasn't had to defend too much other than into turn 1. Which is quite funny considering how strong this the Nissan is in a straight line. It's gone board with Zach.
Stefano Raschuti gets a 5-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 1.
I think one of the unique things, sorry,
No, you go.
about this track is a lot of overtakes take 2 or 3 corners. It's not, you know, a dive bomb into a hairpin. There is a hairpin that you can make a move done, but you see a lot of overtakes. You're hanging on through this section, especially through 1, 2, and 3, and getting the move done eventually. It's not a 1 corner done overtake. You've really got to line it up 3 or 4 corners in advance.
Oh, you do.
So there's that 10 seconds to Talbot, who...
Teammate on teammate action.
And there goes Blair and Baldwin. And Bowen. Blair, Baldwin, Bowen.
Yeah, it's poor old Stephen Ty. He's had absolutely no luck this race. He got tagged by his teammate Mitch Hobbs there.
So if you're Zach Smith, what do you do now? Do you still try and stay as close as you can to Sean? Do you try to get past Sean?
Oh, definitely.
Looking for that number 1 spot?
You never know what's going to transpire. So, say for example, someone ahead might lose it and he gets involved in an incident. Sometimes you just got to just push. Doesn't need to risk anything though. We saw that last night where guys kind of just settled in a little bit, knowing that they were going to be in that top 10 in the last couple of laps. But we've still got about 9.5 minutes here. So Hobbsy, we'll watch that back soon.
Yeah, Talbot does have that 10-second penalty, so keep an eye on how far he is and what that's going to cost him. Is that going to drop him outside the 10?
Good, they're all over it tonight. Already on to Mitch Hobbs. As Stephen Tyers defending from Jake Baldwin into turn 1. I think the outside into turn 1 is the place to be, trying to get the inside into turn 2. As he tries to stick it and he's getting bombarded by 2 Audis.
Not
That
again.
is slightly... Oh, that's some sadness.
That was very messy. You can see what he was trying to do. He's trying to hold on into this long right-hander on the inside, and unfortunately just come unstuck, make contact and spun each other around. So night has not been great for Stephen Ty.
It's gone from bad to worse, and Baldwin's kind of fumbled around a little tiny bit in this final series as well. Oh, that was a tough one. Jean-Pierre Sonicus, I think that's how you pronounce it now, I don't know. In a box seat as well, to maybe look at the top 10. He was in this gaggle. He's got a Nissan to contend with and an Aston, but poor Stephen Ty. We will watch one of them back now because he's never going to want to watch this replay again. Well, this is straight back. This is his teammate.
Oh, just a bit too... Oh, there goes the club postman.
Yeah.
Just a bit too deep there and not taking enough care to stay out of the car in front's bumper.
It doesn't take much.
Yep. And just look at the unfortunate amount that both of those Audis have lost, especially Stephen Ty, who was in that top 6, I believe, from qualies. So unfortunately tumbled to the bottom of the table. As we see replay of Andy trying to make it work around the outside, as we see Philippa hot lapping by herself in front. Oh, a bit of a touch there. Andy saves it out of the grass. That's not grass, that's sand.
Yeah, he's done very well there.
Lizzie from Mars.
That's grass, they've just painted it brown, mate. Just like that.
So, question for the team: if Talbot finishes outside the 10, and obviously we're starting further than 10th in race 2, is that virtually his chances at taking this series win over.
Look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. Hara now obviously going to be leading this championship if it stays the way it is right this second. Yeah, just the first 5 laps of race 2 are going to determine everything. If Bakita can get a great start and Eddie has a poor start, Bakita might be a chance. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We'll update the points once this race finishes. Zachary Smith, well, maybe not quite high enough here to get the points that he needs, but race 2, again, he could be in that box seat.
And what are our time gaps between races? There's currently a 10k an hour wind, so there's always a chance of some clouds rolling over, obviously.
I think race 2 is at 4 p.m. I think.
Okay, so about an hour and a half, maybe. You never know. Yesterday was quite strange, so obviously you never know what's happening here in Barcelona. Yeah, the 100 is blowing quite heftily right now. Cam's hairs are moving.
Oh, that's a
There's a bit of a touch there by Sonicus into Misson, but thankfully he holds on to it, and now he's getting pestered by the likes of Alex Bone. Is this the range you can be in to make a move into the hairpin? Maybe not enough of a run on him, but just an unfortunate little boop on the back there.
Bone might be close enough to have a look. He's gaining. No, doesn't send it.
You'd be forgiven for thinking Alex Bone will be a little bit gun shy making an overtake, given his luck this season. But he does have to worry about Scope sitting there in P15 in that Ferrari. He will not be afraid to make a move if he thinks there's half an opportunity.
Well, I think Talbot's, if the positions stay like this, Talbot will drop somewhere in the middle of this bunch, as Misson just can't get that chicane
cuts
done.
the corner.
I thought he was better going to the pits.
So Talbot's going to drop somewhere in the middle of this bunch, I reckon, so this is going to spice it up even more as Sonicus gets down the inside, and the Bentley isn't that much of a slouch down the straight. Hopefully it has enough rights to the corner. Maybe just backs out of it and tucks in. Good idea. Save yourself for when you're a little bit closer.
No, you don't get a better opportunity than that. I think that Nissan just pulled away.
It's not over yet though. JP just showing half a nose at the moment. Now you can see Misson just starting to back all these 4 right up into each other, so got to be very careful. I know that Nissan has a bit of poke down the straight, but I feel as soon as he puts a wheel wrong, he could lose 3 positions in a corner.
You have to maybe be a bit more worried about Bone behind him, Sonicus, than anything. He knows that if Sonicus tries half a move, then there's always an opportunity for the 2 drivers directly behind him to just pounce on it.
Yeah, you don't want to be forced wide because then you will lose 3 spots. Follow in behind the lead car and then you're just stuck out in the weeds waiting for a spot to get back on.
Yep. See, even after...
Oh, that's a bit of ingot, sorry.
No, that's alright. 26 minutes of racing, most of these drivers are still in the same sector, so that's how close and well matched most of these drivers are with their race pace. So if you're not close enough to this Nissan on the straights, it seems like they just gap you and you've got to wait for the next lap. So
yeah, you can just see how strong they are down this main straight. See how wide they go into turn 1, almost past the ripple strip on the inside. But then you can just see the Bentley through turns 1, 2 and 3, just how much it closes up. So see, have their strengths and weaknesses, these 2 cars.
If the results stay the way they are at the moment, Bakita will be on 144 points, Houlihan 142, so they're 2 points separating, and Andrew Hara 161, so he'll be 17 points clear of Bakita. all three a chance to take it out at the end. I haven't done anyone else yet. Talbot will be a fair way back from that. But, oh, it's going to be a great race too.
Yeah, you've got to feel if you're Andy O'Hara, you just want an absolute clean race too. Not really worried about, as long as you're relative to Bakita and you're there or thereabouts, you just don't want to get caught up in an accident like we saw last week with Philippa.
I think he's seeing a bit of red right now.
But they have the advantage at this stage of track position in race 2. Of course, if he passes Houlihan, he'll get more points in race 1. They'll start behind him for race 2.
I think he's going to give it his best shot to make it clean past Ryan here as he gets right in the slipstream.
Ryan's going to make him earn it.
This will be the last lap as well.
Wow, this is so close and good to see. These two just know each other very well and know they can put the car where they want it and not be forced off track or bumped or... I mean, even though Ryan did do that the other lap, but very respectful.
And he's going to go around the outside. That's brave.
He's going to be inside now.
Yeah, he's going to have the inside into this slow corner. Downhill, very tricky, very easy to go wide. He's going to force Houlihan to the outside and absolutely parks it on the apex. There's nothing Houlihan can do about that. That's a great move by Andy. Set that up.
Yeah,
Set that up
huge
in
10
turn
points.
one.
Huge 10 points there for Andy. He's gained on that. So that 17-point buffer is now 27.
So it's explained before, it just shows you how you line and move up 3 or 4 corners away. Now he's just got to hold on for one more lap.
If anyone was going to make that happen, it was going to be Andy.
I think Ryan's going to have a look into the last couple of corners if he can.
Meanwhile, Philippa is going to take the win in race 1. Did exactly what she needed to. And will take maximum points. So great drive from Philippa, but the real story is this man who got P2 and will take the biggest advantage he can into the final race. So Houlihan, Gibbons, Gallo are your top 5. Then Hunter, Talbot, who does have a pen, so he'll be sweating on where he's going to start. Deeney, Carude, Madison, Smith, Misson, Smith in the box seat for pole. Sanikas, Bone, Blair, Floyd, Hobbs will drop a couple of spots. Holmes gets a penalty at the end for causing a collision on the last lap.
I think Talbot will go down to about 12th. 12th or 13th.
So you've got to think that's made his job almost mission impossible for race 2. You really need to be in that top 10.
So
there you have it.
Yep. Missing will start
13th.
P1.
What?
Oh shit.
Are you sure?
Is that right?
No, I think Smith.
Zachary Smith was P11, I thought.
Oh, my bad.
Yep. And Bakita also with the extra 3 points, I believe. So
Yes, correct. She had the
that's
fastest
definitely going
lap.
to help her. Definitely going to help.
We'll just update the points in a seckie.
Goes to show what that Porsche can do in clean air. Like, you saw the difference between the gap she was making and then the inconsistent gap of Carude there when they were battling and in between those cars. As Zach Smith goes to set the pole lap, so nice work.
I'll be back in 5, gents.
No worries.
Can anyone, what are your guesses on the time that he's going to set here?
4 minutes and 8 seconds.
4 minutes. Is he walking?
You could be.
Valid lap, I think he's going to do a 44.2.
44 seconds is a mighty impressive lap.
1 minute 44.2. Tell us what you think, chat.
dilemma asking for the cursed camera.
Unfortunately, the director has taken 5 minutes away from the keyboard, so do not have that ability right now.
And there's been a lot of talk about what wasn't announced in the recent ACC announcement. Do we think they will ever update the track to include the new turn 10 layout as we just see Zach Smith go past it?
Was I think it's probably in there to do later basket. Out of all the things that have kind of been loosely promised in their recent media thing that they did.
I think if surely they update Zandvoort first, because that's a more drastic change, I would have thought.
Well, say that to say this. It's been 3 years since the Paul Ricard pit lane update, and they still haven't updated that, so I wouldn't exactly hold your breath.
I reckon they'll put your name on the runoff of the last turn before they fix that pit lane in ACC.
I mean, it would be funny having an official corner named after me, but I don't think that's going to happen. So while we are just filling time, football season is back. NFL starts Thursday night in the US, or tomorrow Asia Pacific. You and I have talked about it before, Franco. You never bet against Tom Brady.
Well, the man is ruined football as a whole. Let's just say that.
I mean, surely he can't keep winning. Surely this time someone else will do it.
I mean, what is he, 50 now?
He's 84.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know what the football season is going to look like. I think there's going to be a lot of interruptions because of COVID, which is still a bit of a problem. The organisations are so huge; it's almost impossible to avoid. I know the teams are basically making it so the players have to vaccinate, but obviously you'll have people that don't.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be difficult to tell what's going to happen in the NFL this year, just purely because of what COVID could do, as we see with the new Delta strain, which is much more transmissible and is very, very potent if you do get it, no matter how fit and young you are.
But America, you can't take away their hand egg.
I'm not saying there will be no football. I'm just saying it may be impacted by players and teams not being able to go full strength.
Definitely.
I mean, we saw it in South America with the Argentina-Brazil game, where doctors came onto the field and actually escorted players off the field because they lied on their declaration forms. So
that was so dodgy. The border patrol people asked them, "Have you come from the UK?" And these players that play in the English Premier League, televised around the world every week, had the audacity to say no.
yeah.
I mean, come on, really?
So I've heard different stories on that. Basically, what I've been told is the Argentinian team said, "Look, we know we've got players that should be isolated. Can we just play the game and then get on a plane straight away and leave?" And they said okay, but I think word must have got out potentially to either Brazilian team or somebody who mandated that the players had to get off the field. So it seems like people in organisations, no matter how high up you go, they're still winging it. They're not, they haven't got strict protocols in place and what needs to happen. And on that note, I'm going to leave you guys to call this race 3. I unfortunately have to dip out.
And for Rubber Ducky, I hope you're alright.
Yep.
No worries, mate. Thanks for joining us.
No worries. I'll keep an eye on the stream, and best of luck.
Right,
Thanks,
mate.
Franco. See you, mate.
Look at that. Car 667. P16 on the grid. Things you love to see.
Thanks for $10.
Scott Blair out qualified by the safety car. And it's away. Everyone left in their tracks.
Whew, this is going to be very, very interesting first 5 laps. Probably first 2 laps. O'Hara leads by, I think it was 27 points over Bakita. They're going to start side by side on the 5th row. Talbot is going to be starting outside that top 10, and he's P3 in the championship. Houlihan, 4 points back. Smith still, there's still quite a few drivers with a chance. Something's going to have to happen to those front 3 cars in the championship for it to actually have a chance of winning. I've got a bit of a poll up on YouTube chat. Who's going to take it out? O'Hara, Bakita, Talbot, or I didn't spell right, or someone else? Who's your money on, Pat?
Oof. Well, it's hard to look past someone like Andy O'Hara, who we just saw work so hard just for that P2 position. So, you know, we know him. He's very patient with making the moves and working through traffic. So, I am going to put all my marbles on Andrew O'Hara.
Right here. What about you, Bender?
Are we talking race win or championship?
Championship, mate.
Oh, I mean, I think it depends so much on
Just pick one.
first couple laps. I'm going to put a caveat on it. If Bakita gets ahead of O'Hara,
Fucking just pick one.
she will win.
Ultimate.
If she does
Listen
not
to
get
me.
ahead of O'Hara, she won't win.
I do need a fucking thesis on it. Alright, Bakita, O'Hara. I'm going to spice things up. And I think...
It's tough.
I think
It's not
Houlihan.
easy.
I think Houlihan's going to steal this.
Well, if anyone's got an advantage off the grid, it's going to be Houlihan, being in that 8th position.
Big chance for the safety car to pick it up.
But, you know, we've seen these drivers all season long do a lot of great driving, so you never know what could happen.
Loudest Howard asks, can it be a draw? No.
I think then you would count back to race wins.
Yes, so currently Bakita has 2 race wins. I'm just trying to update the podiums now.
They're only race wins from finals.
Yep.
Okay.
So race wins, podiums, top 10s, poles is the top 4 tiebreakers.
So these fastest lap points could be crucial to the final standings.
100%.
Wow. Well, the safety car has pulled away, has already gapped the whole field, as Smith, Madison, Carood, Adini, Hunter, Gallo, Gibbons, Houlihan, O'Hara and Bakita lead the Asia Pacific Sprint Pro Finals around the last turn of formation for the last time.
Take us away, Patrick.
We are going to see some fireworks as there's a bit of confusion at the back of the grid there. Hopefully everyone is holding. And green, we are away. They flare out. I'm not going to say how many wide that is because that number is already cursed, as that McLaren is right on the bumper of that Porsche. They're around and the Ferrari's out and the Porsche's taken out 7,000 of the field, and it is an absolute car park on the home straight here at Catalunya. I have a sneaking suspicion that car 667 will rejoin the track, and they have. Oh dear, yes, no. I can't find the words. That is not what you want to see here, but who has survived? That is the question.
Houlihan has survived.
So it's Bakita.
Hara and Bakita have died.
No, Bakita survived. Bakita
I'm so
survived.
confused.
It'll update.
That
Just
was-
give it a sec. Give me a sec. I'm off to the steward office.
Alright.
Godspeed, Mull. That, well, we were all thinking it when we saw 4 or almost 5 wide there.
Wide, yeah. That
Before
was
turn 1, gosh.
very questionable.
That's, it's then tricky for the cars ahead because they think, I don't know, they maybe make a slight move to either side and that car is right on your bumper and you get a bit loose and then, oh, there's going to be a lot of work for those stewards and, I don't know how much damage would have been done to cars, but there was definitely a lot of positions lost.
There would have been a lot. Do you know what that reminds me of? I don't know if many people out there have seen this, but it was the viral clip from, I want to say, 2017, 2018, blank pan race at Monza. And they're coming around to the start and the first lap. And then very similar to this, a car just spears across the middle of the pack and wipes out like 30 cars, and there's bits of carbon fiber everywhere.
Yeah.
4 cars survive.
As we see a fair few cars dive into the pits here, so I'd say we're probably going to see a couple of laps under the safety car just to try and bunch them all up again. As Sean Madison gets 3 points for fastest lap with a 2 minutes and 15. Those 3 points are in his back pocket right now. Is that going to help his charge?
Well, let's have a look at the names that are pitting. Snakes, Scott Blair, Biambi, Baldwin, Carrode. Lots. I'm sure there's others as well
Probably
that we can't
more,
see. It
yeah.
goes down to P23.
Look who's still out there. We've still got Bakita. O'Hara probably wouldn't have too much damage. I don't think he would stay out if he didn't like the feel of the car. But that also brings up people like Stephen Ty. He probably took it quite safe on the start there, because from memory he was towards the rear of the field. So hopefully him and Mitch Hobbs can have a bit more luck under the green flag this time. And dear oh dear, there are a lot more names that pit there. I think shouldn't need new tyres. But we'll wait for Mull eventually, hopefully, to have a look back at that, unless he doesn't want to and just wants to burn the footage.
Well, I mean, if you're pitting for damage, you might as well get a new set of tyres anyway. You probably have some massive flat spots on them if you're going sideways down the start-finish straight.
Oh, Stick Death, that's a good one. Macau a couple of years ago with that massive accident of millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Alright, I'm back. Let's watch that start again, eh?
And we've heard here from Cameron Farmer that apparently Talbot sped in the pits. So you see those 2 McLarens flare out, and there's just a bit of tapping, and it looks like the McLaren has just given them a bit of a clip. And see that Audi on the outside just snuck through.
That's a paddle.
And look at the Nissan in the back has just stopped.
Who's the Nissan at the back? It's just like, yeah, no, dealing with this.
I'm not gonna bar
shit, I'm out.
So it looks like maybe trying to just be in a gap.
Oh, that's
I
tough.
think that's
Hunter
Dean Hunter.
and yeah, okay.
That Audi on the outside of the grid there was very, very lucky. Oh, I can imagine what was going through her head right now. He's probably done alright. Maybe only a little bit of splitter.
And then front
For
end damage
Andy
on
there?
the wall, I reckon.
Just scrape the splitter on the front, I reckon.
No,
that
that's a
Ferrari.
decent hit in the front wall.
Who was that Ferrari?
That Ferrari just got absolutely yeeted.
Was it Blair?
I think it could have been.
Was that Hooley?
Surely not from over there. It was
That's Hooley.
Hooley. Oh, that.
And he
this
didn't
has
pit?
spiced it up.
I don't think he pitted.
Oh,
That's gonna hurt.
Jeez. Unless he's miraculously had not a lot of damage.
And there's a Babylon.
Yeah. In a race that you don't need to pit, that's a very unfortunate penalty.
So, as I was saying, it doesn't take much to change things up. O'Hara is 13th.
That's been the funnest race start to call in my short commentating career, and it didn't get to turn 1.
How many metres?
Not 12.
Not 12, a little bit more than 12.
130 metres.
Safety
But-
car coming in this lap. Here you go. Here you go, Pat. Here's a hot tip
Ender,
for you.
it's your turn.
Some of the best race starts you will ever call don't make it to turn 1.
Some of my highlights have been from the first freaking 12 metres.
If you know, you know.
If you
Well,
know,
it's
you
going to be a
know.
30-minute sprint here now, so everyone's got enough fuel. I'm not sure how tyres would be for those that didn't pit and might have got caught up. So you're hoping that they've been doing a bit of brake warming and looking after them.
Maybe
No.
Mullet can do some quick maths and tell us who the points leader between the top 3
God,
is.
as if he doesn't work enough.
Houlihan, Bakita and O'Hara.
Right this second.
Yeah, right there. Under the bus, mate. Come on.
Where's your
Who
vibe?
do you want it out of? The current championship
Yeah,
leaders?
the one
Houlihan,
that you had
Bakita,
before.
O'Hara. Yeah.
Where's Bakita? Oh, shit,
P9, Houlihan P6, Bakita P9, O'Hara 13th.
Look, I think Zach Smith is probably a good shoe in here.
So Madison, he's going to take this as long as he can, I reckon, before he gets going.
Well, Hara's leading by 17 points. So the
Does
gap's
not
10.
want to give anyone a slipstream for any longer than he has to.
Take us away again, Patrick.
But he's gone past the start. What? He's gone past the line. They don't know where it is. They could have gone.
That was a bit of
much
confusion
sooner.
there, but
Yeah.
the Ferrari right behind that Bentley, are they going to look to make an early move? Maybe not, hopefully not. Pray for everyone, safety first, put your seatbelts on, tray tables up ladies and gentlemen, let's strap in for a 31-minute sprint here at Asia Pacific Sprint Finals, as there is a Mercedes looking to make some work around the outside of that is probably Philip Bakita as Ben Floyd, but no, let's settle in, strap in, put the feed bag on and get ready for what is going to be quite a spicy race here, especially with the points that people may need to get the illustrious Pro win.
Well, Houlihan's jumped 3 positions already, so this is great for him. He's up in 3rd.
Yeah,
So Malik will be
confusing.
furiously recalculating the numbers.
As if Malik doesn't do enough work, Ben just asked him for a live spreadsheet of points straight
Okay,
away.
currently, Houlihan is 5 points behind O'Hara for the win.
Oh, there you go. Heard it here first,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen.
We'll keep
So-
updated. But, just getting...
Jiminy Jillick is as the... Oh, I can't even words. As they're too wide, that looks like... Is that Philippa? No, that's probably Cameron Ross.
Cameron Ross.
Another Porsche. Still too wide. They have been too wide for the past 3 corners. Who is going to give it up? I don't think it's going to be Samwise Holmes. It goes a bit deep there. It's quite shallow. It's going to be a slow last chicane for him. But that Porsche, and there's just
Oh, the
a
rear
absolute cluster bugger right there at the chicane.
There you go. Passes that for Ryan Houlihan, so he's picked up another couple of points there. Right now, Bill Houlihan, this
Baldwin
is
getting
all coming up Millhouse.
squeezed. Baldwin getting a bit squeezed there onto the wall. Is he going to do the same back to the Audi? It looks like it. And he just holds himself in that Boatley. And as there is a Mercedes around. Who's that? Is that Ben Floyd?
Samwise.
Samwise. No. That wasn't very Samwise, was it? As Houlihan almost gets into the back of Smith there at turn 5. This is dicey. People's tyres probably aren't back at the right pressures yet. Those 2 slow laps definitely aren't helping. But if this is helping anyone, it's going to be Sean Madison, who is doing a great job up there by himself. Good to see. One of our rookie coaches, who I'm sure a lot of people are very keen to see. Once again, that Ferrari looks a bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
And he looks he's got a bit extra toe in on that left side there too. I wonder how his steering is. It can't be great. He looked like he hit the wall quite hard.
This is the type of performance though that if he gets the win, just unbelievable drive.
It's an early call that. As Sean Madison zoinks those 3 points back with a 44.02. As Daniel Adini looking to make the move down the inside, saying, Bender, bugger that, I'm going to mess up your prediction, as he gets it done. So, P3 for Daniel Adini, but Ryan Houlihan is absolutely zero slouch, so he's going to make him work to hold that position. Does he defend down the inside into turn 4? Houlihan looks like he might make half a move here. He does not. Just tucks right back in. Settles in as we see a yellow flag at the back there. That's car 13. That is Justin Cruz, who may have had a moment into turn 1. But no. Adini is gapped a little bit already, and Daniel Hunter is right on the back of Ryan Houlihan.
It looks like Ryan Houlihan's that damage is going to play a big role here.
Yep.
That was big contact in that wall. He's obviously got track position, so it's obviously drivable. It's just going to be down a little bit.
It looked like quite a substantial hit, so it's quite impressive that it's still steering straight. But probably lost a little bit of top end, I would say.
Yes.
Well, no one else seems to be making any moves at the moment. Bakita still down in 7th. O'Hara still 13th. As we approach 25 minutes to go, almost.
Pretty impressive what that aero damage can do to certain aspects of these GT3 cars, like the amount of top end speed you can lose from a front end collision like that. As Dan Hunter thinks he might have a move done down here. Looks a little bit shallow, but it stays out the back. Nice work to stay out the rear bumper of Hooley, but looks like Gallo, he's in a Ferrari sandwich here. It's a nice Italian sandwich, as Houlihan can't hold on to it, goes a little bit wide. I'd say that's a track cut. But is Hunter going to stick it up? Oh, the half move has scared Houlihan by the looks of things, and Hunter is going to try and stick it around the outside, as Gallo is also going to try and I don't know, what are your decisions here? Too wide.
Houlihan's going to have the inside down into 6, no?
Nah, that is just, unfortunately it's a part of the track where there's only one line through there. You cannot be too wide whatsoever, or you just lose so much time. I think this is where we see this is what the damage has done to Houlihan's car. As, oh my goodness, under braking, that was a very scary move. He has threaded the needle of those two cars. I'm so surprised that no one got hit
who's
there.
Bakita.
Oh, she gets squeezed a little bit there by Gallo in the background.
Gallo doing a solid for Houlihan there, keeping her behind.
We need to see a replay of that braking into turn 10. I do not know how Houlihan did not hit anyone. That was so impressive.
And
He broke
drive-through penalty. What?
Who's that?
track limits. I'd say that's track limits. Went
That's
wide
big.
at turn 9. I would say that is track limits. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's definitely given by the game.
Damn. So that spices it up even more.
Well, that just removes Dan Hunter's threat to Houlihan, so he'll have his teammate Gallo behind him. Rear gunner.
Never mind, Fire Lord Racing in chat. Drive through for car 3 for causing collision on lap 1. Bot not sending messages again. So That
Also,
is
they've-
for causing a collision on lap 1.
They've obviously determined Dan was the culprit behind the pile-up.
And yes, that does probably help Andrew O'Hara in his push to hold maximum points for this race.
Well, he's got a lot of damage as well. He needs to pass a few cars, I reckon.
He's hot on the heels of Stephen Ty by the looks of the timing sheet right now. Sean Madison gets a 10-second penalty for an infraction on lap 4. That will be interesting as to what that is. I wonder.
Restart, maybe.
I think it's the race start. He picked the wrong line, I think, to go, but it says at lap 4, so I'm not quite sure. Hunter's coming to serve his drive-through.
As there was another penalty there. I think Talbot got 10 seconds, but that's interesting. What? I wonder. I don't know.
Well, we saw Madison go from the race start line, but the timing line is actually the finish line, which is at the back of the grid, which is the one he should have gone from.
Yeah, the start-finish line, where it's checkered, that's where you should restart the after the laps.
Is that? I just don't know. I'm confused.
Are you right?
Yeah. Why the penalty?
Patrick.exe is not working.
If he's the one that's probably going to lose out. Well, I'm just confused what the penalty is.
Well, I think it could be because it confused everyone else when they could have overtaken him and they didn't. So
You can't hold the field after a certain point, otherwise it's dangerous, which is what happens at Mugello and stuff like that with other drivers that are not watching. There's a certain line you have to go before. You don't go afterwards. You can't decide to go after that line. You must go before that line. You can leave it right to the very last moment, but it was after that he took off. And if you saw behind, it nearly caused a few cars to barrel into each other because you can't also overtake before the start-finish line. So it's fun times. Just a slight little error.
Interesting. But as we have seen that, he's obviously lost a position to Zach Smith, so hopefully, no, well, not hopefully, I think he's probably trying to help Zach out there the most.
Yeah. But, Zach, he's just... Bakita's 6th, which is big. Hara's only managed to gain 1 so far. Might still be done enough.
That was the drive-through from Hunter as well. Yeah, this battle here I think is big. Bakita needs to clear Gallo because he's got a nice, fresh car, no damage or very minimal damage, whereas Houlihan, very much wounded, I think would be an easier overtake.
Well, I'm just trying to work out the points at the moment. So, Bakita is P6, which is 45 Pointeroonies. O'Hara is 12th. I think it's going to be pretty tight. 28 points for O'Hara. So Bakita is 10 points behind O'Hara now overall. Talbot out of the running. Obviously that start of the race was a bit of a disaster. Houlihan is P4, which is 52 points. So he is on... Okay, the top 3. O'Hara's on 199, Bakita 189, and Houlihan 184. So 15 points separates the top 3. I'll just try and work out what Smith is, because that's 90 big boys. Oh, actually.
Smith's got fastest lap as well at the moment.
Zachary Smith leads... Oh, hang on. If I can actually type 93. Leads by 12 points. Huge.
So how many does Smithy have?
211.
to 11th, and O'Hara's got 199.
Correct.
Wow. So where does O'Hara need to get to?
At least 4 spots.
At least 4. Wow, that's a big
But
ask. We've got 20
Bakita,
minutes.
but Bakita can get back into that by being in the top 3. So say Bakita finishes 3rd, just for sake. She's actually, no, I was wrong. She's still 3rd, 2nd. If Bakita can get 2nd position, she will win the championship. But at the moment, sitting in P6.
Alright, well then, so she needs to clear Adini ahead because Madison's got the time penalty. So if she passes these 2 plus Adini,
Yep,
she wins.
it's going to be good.
So Smithy, he's doing all he needs to do. He's winning. He's got the fastest lap. He's in the prime position. Keita, she needs to get past these 3 cars and then to behind Madison. 10-second penalty. O'Hara, we think, needs roughly P8, so he needs to get ahead of Mitch Hobbs. And Houlihan, what do we think he needs to do? He's a bit further back, so he needs to what?
Become a Buddhist.
Come on, Buddhist.
I think he's in a bit of trouble with the damage.
For him to win?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, just because
It's a
Smithy's
quick
winning.
race start. Just quickly show you the race start. So the line, checkered flag, is there.
Yeah.
That's where he should have gone. So just see right there, that's where the cars should have been released. And he's left it probably 50 metres later. I don't know why he's sticking that line. That's just the start line, as in where the grid sets. The start finish, or the finish line is where the control is. So you
Yeah, I
can
just
see in the
don't see
background.
because he didn't cause anything. I don't understand it.
Well, the jump start, you
It-
don't
it's
cause anything and you
here.
get a pen. Look at that. So some cars have already gone because you can't overtake to that line right there. And it's just that McLaren, oh, the Ferrari's gone right around the outside. So that's what the penalty was for.
But okay, this is my last question, and then I'll drop the topic. Is it he has control until the start finish line?
So he has to, yeah, he has control, and before the start finish line, he has to take off. He can go as soon as that first corner
Which
comes
is the
around.
checkered line,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, the checkered line.
Okay.
So Bakita, as we just saw, trying to make a move on the outside of Gallo there. Madison playing a nice little blocking role for Smithy at the moment. Gap out in front, 2.5 seconds now, but 2 through 6 all together. So for Bakita, this is what she wants to see. All of them here, and she just go bang, bang, bang.
Problem is the Porsche.
Yeah, problem is the Porsche.
Turn 1 is where you want to make it.
Meanwhile, O'Hara has moved up to P11, so he needs 3 more positions now. Only a tenth and a half
close.
behind Stephen Ty.
Bit of a gap from 9th down, so O'Hara, he could potentially get 9th. I don't see much more happening in 15 minutes for him though. We'll let Alex is in chat. Obviously something's happened to Alex. He might have been caught up at turn 1, lap 1. Well, sorry, wasn't even turn 1.
It wasn't even
Straight.
turn 1, yeah. The straight, yeah, that's what you know, it's bad. The straight.
212 fucking metres. Jagpocalypse is probably one of the best things I've seen.
That's a good name for it, the Jagpocalypse.
Who wins if the magicians stay the way they are? Zachary Smith will. I have to keep an eye out though. Andy is sitting in 11th. So that will be 30 points for Andy. He gets another 2. So Andy's on 201, Zach 211. So if Andy can jump those next 2 cars ahead, he'll finish in 9th and pick up 36, which isn't enough. I mean, Zachary Smith will win by 4 points. Whew. But Zachary
gets
Smith
8.
does have the fastest lap. So maybe someone... No, sorry. I take that back. Adini's got it.
Oh, Jeannie's got it now. Oh, okay, there you go.
So if O'Hara goes to 9th and the Zach stays where he is, he'll win by 1 point.
Wow.
That is hot and heavy. But he has to get past the 2 first. Madison is doing a huge rear gunner action here on the rest of the grid.
Yeah, well, he's got 10 seconds, but hey, why not? It's the last race of the finals. Drive it like you stole it.
I've just... actually, Madison's penalty may come into play here. If Andy can get within that 10 seconds and finish ninth, he'll win the championship.
I don't think it's enough though,
In
because
13 minutes.
There's 4.2.
It's Andy O'Hara. You keep dismissing him, Bender.
No, I'm just saying at this stage, 10 seconds is not enough.
Mate,
He's
20
outside.
seconds isn't enough.
Yeah.
No, he's outside
Yeah, he's...
the range by like 6, 7 seconds.
Yeah.
He's got to clear tie,
And he's got
then
damage.
then he's got that gap. He can close up to Floyd. Floyd, you think, in the Mercedes would let him through. So then he's got another 4 seconds that he can close up, and then he's got just on the cusp of being in that window for 10 seconds.
You think that's like a multi-21 ordeal there if he gets to Floyd?
Oh, for sure. What do you think Gallo's doing for Houlihan?
Oh, just pushing him along.
He's
Well, I think that's what
blocking
Madison's probably
contact.
doing.
Makita's
There's
spun
contact
Gallo.
though.
Makita has spun Gallo.
That is...
That is big. That
my
is
words
big.
don't work tonight. There's so much going on that my brain cannot comprehend
Wow.
just all of the happenings. So we see a sad safety car.
Which may bring Thingo into play.
Which could bring a penalty.
Does that
Don't
help
want to
Andy?
prejudge anything. Don't want to make any predictions. Obviously, the stewards will look at it. We'll wait to see the verdict. But definitely looked like she was a little bit too late on the brakes into the last chicane there and came into contact with Gallo.
Go from a bit of Dusty Martin don't argue, I reckon. Get out of her way, she's coming through. But hopefully not.
Just these small little things.
Fine margins.
Just fine, Mark. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's just watch that back. Stewards will do their work, their magic.
It's a bit squirrely coming through. 13, 14. And then just has a sand up the
Yeah.
inside. Doesn't quite get it. Jumps across the curb. And that's all she wrote on that one.
Penalty's been dished out, so that's a 10-second penalty. This has spiced things up hugely. Well, Zachary Smith didn't want to see that behind him because that might bring Andy more into play.
Dear oh dear.
Far out.
And he's still dropping. So Andy's in the 10 right now.
He's past Gallo. Gallo has dropped a long way.
What's that? I can't read the numbers. 1.4, 7.98. Andy's close to that 10-second margin of Makita now.
I still think he needs to pass Stephen Ty, I think. You get past Ty, he's then got his teammate Floyd, and I think that'll be multi-21 as we were saying earlier.
Well, he's got Gallo. Oh, it's going to come down to those gaps between the cars rather than actual positions. All about the timing.
I think Floyd, he's in play, but he's also making it a bit harder for Andy. He's got a bit of damage, Andy, so he's down a bit on power.
Yeah,
And
didn't pit either, did he?
Floyd's close enough that Ty will be getting a slipstream from him down the straight.
Do you think... what's Mad's last lap? 44 points. Mad's is flying along because Zachary Smith's last lap with a 44.7, so was Madison's. I was just saying, I was just thinking if Madison's compromising lap time to defend, maybe he's better off just to go to P3, but he's going great guns. Andrew Hara last lap 45.9. Yeah,
He's in traffic.
that damage is going to play a significant role here. But at the moment it's out of Smith and O'Hara for the Pro Championship. A few sad stories tonight. A few amazing ones though. Oh dear. So who did we? I had Houlihan, which I think I can say won't happen unless something happens to Smith. Oh, this is just too many stories here.
Too much spice.
Yeah, too many different permutations.
So Houlihan will finish. This is there.
There's too many outcomes.
Just
and
trying to-
I don't think maths is going to help us as we see someone teleport to the pits.
Who was that?
667. No, that's the
51.
Talbot.
And they just... Yep, Talbot is gone.
So
Connected straight away.
33 for a half.
Gibbons. Something has happened to Gibbons, maybe.
No,
No, Gibbons is P7.
Talbot,
It
I
was
think.
Talbot. Yeah.
Yeah, they disconnected.
Okay, no, Gibbons just got passed by Hobbs. That's all.
2.4, 4.4. Yeah, it's very.
Hot lap shootout. If it's a draw, I reckon.
Nah, just 1v1 snipers only on Rust.
Fuck.
1v1 Rocket League with the square ball. The cube.
So technically, Andy is 9th, but about 1.5 seconds back from Madison. It's a 10-second penalty. That's the difference.
Sorry, he needs 9.
He needs 9th, but he needs to be within 10 seconds of Madison to finish 8th. That's
eighth.
the game
Okay.
changer. Yeah, so
That's
he needs the
including
8th position.
Paqueta's penalty.
Yes,
Okay. Well then,
he's already had Paqueta's penalty, so he's
Yeah,
he's
so
9th at the
Ben
moment.
Floyd just pulls over on the last lap, lets it through. That's done.
I hope not, because it's not about teams here; it's about the individual. And I'll be fucking fuming if that happens.
Well, I mean, we've just seen Gallo defending for Houlihan.
I
So,
think
like,
Gallo's just racing. I don't think Gallo's defending from anyone.
We don't know. As Floyd
Talbot.
still going big defense against Stephen Tyre here, who is having a bit of a redemption race, which is good to see. Unfortunate result in the first race as he defends from Andrew O'Hara coming up towards turn 4. This is what makes it so special, is that all these people have quite similar race pace, and it makes those opportunities so much more difficult, those passing opportunities so much more difficult. You've got to make sure you have the space and the ability to get your nose in and get the move done, as long as you're within the rule book. And hopefully have 6.5 more minutes of that here for these Pro finals in Asia Pacific.
Just want to see what happened to Talbot and Co. Now this is the battle for 18th position. Now, a couple of these drivers are probably on the limit here with what they can get away with. It is obviously very competitive. But this whole lap though, this close, someone just said on chat to have a look at it.
Yeah, there's only one line through there, unfortunately, and they're going to go 3 wide through turn 10. No.
Oh,
Jeez.
wow.
Oh,
Bender, that nearly beat yours if it was contact.
just not long enough and gets a bit of a rear.
And
Oh,
just,
jeez, the gaggle.
and I think Jeremy's had enough after that. Kind of don't blame him. It's some very hard racing.
Yeah,
Meanwhile-
it was almost a sniper out there, Mullock. That's how dangerous that could have been.
Smith leads the way. O'Hara's still 10th. That's what we're watching at the moment. A couple of these cars out there. We'll just have a quick look. Got a little bit of damage. Slap 1 was not fantastic. Ryan Houlihan, who's P3 overall at the moment. Damage. O'Hara, who was P1 before this race. Same again, has damage. So they're both really battling their cars. Yeah, considering the damage, because some of the contacts they made with the fence were pretty hard. They're doing a stellar job.
Yeah, especially Ryan Houlihan. So Bakita has gotten past Houlihan since last time we checked in. That might help Andrew just.
It's got a better exit here.
This is the race start. Quickly cut away.
But we need to know. Lance
It's a
Stroll.
Lance Stroll meme right here. Bang. See, if anything, it looks like the Porsche. Philippa's been a bit lucky with the weird bit of ghosting there when she ran into Houlihan.
Yeah. She might even have a little bit of damage. Andy not in range of short anymore. Just stuck with this gaggle.
Reynolds gets a drive through.
Oh, here's the spot.
Tyres wide. On the dirt. He's going to send it though.
That's a send.
Oh, that is a bit rude. But O'Hara.
And Gallows just lost out trying to make some space that may not have been there. Bit self-inflicted, unfortunately, and he's gone deep there too, Ty. So gonna have a bumper full of Andrew O'Hara for the next few corners by the looks of it.
You can see Andy was well aware of what was going on with Ty. Opens up his steering. That's a big dive on the brakes.
Yeah,
And Ty's getting
well
position up.
redressed there.
I was letting him through. Yeah, that was
No.
a bit
Tip-
rude.
Tip of the
on the
fedora there.
reset.
Tried
Tip
it,
of the
but
fedora.
knows he did the wrong thing and just let him by and continue racing.
You know what that means
Chicken tonight. I don't know.
for the championship.
Yes, but is there's still 2 minutes to go, and I think he's quite
but
close
Kidham-
to
Lost
outside that
time.
10-second gap. Yeah.
Outside the 10 seconds.
So we've got 2 minutes to make that work,
laps,
Andrew.
though. 2
This
laps.
is all up to Floyd. All depends what happens here with Floyd.
Could he get the fastest lap? Because Adini still has the fastest lap,
No,
right?
not on that.
I don't think with his
Not
damage.
with his damage.
What is the fastest lap anyway?
143.7. O'Hara's going at 45.9. That last
Yeah,
lap.
okay. I mean, he's been in traffic, but yeah.
He did get hit by a tyre.
Tyres now, and obviously damage. I don't think you'll see that. If you did, something weird's going on.
So he's going to be very, very close to that 8th position that he needs for the championship to be in his hands. But no one's making... See, this is awesome stuff. Sean Madison has had that 3.6 second gap or something very close to it for the past however many laps that he's done behind Zach Smith. So doing a good job. He's got some good race pace, obviously, and he's had Daniel Odini on Daniel Odini on his rear bumper for that whole time. So, and Philip Bakita seems to have just joined along. So it's great to see. Still putting in those laps after laps.
So
Sean Madden's the big thing here. This is, you see what his type of pace is.
Come out and start the final lap
Taking
now.
some time.
Smithy already on the straight. Madison comes round.
So Zachary Smith currently leads the championship. He is on 209 points, I think I said.
Yeah, 209.
208, sorry, 208. So 90 points here. O'Hara is on 207. If you can get within that 10 second of Bakita and finish 8th, O'Hara will win. Zach Smith can set a fastest lap and put it out of the question, but I don't think this far into the race he's going to be able to do that. But never say never.
Bakita just trying to get right on the back of Adini there. If any car is going to be able to make a move in another part of the track, I think it's going to be the Porsche. Seeing as it's got that acceleration and that handling ability.
And he's going about a second faster than Floyd last lap. Oh, maybe a late little move.
As of the start of this
Probably
lap,
worth it.
he
He's
needed
out.
to find 2.1 seconds
I don't think he's got it.
Well,
It has to be a
Smith
Stephen
race.
Bradbury moment right now, I think.
it could be perhaps a bit of late drama between these three coming around behind.
But well done, Zachary Smith picks up the win here in race 2. Puts himself into that spot for the championship crown. We wait and see what happens to the rest of the field. Madison's going to cross the line P2, Denny P3, Paqueta P4, but 2 of those drivers have pens. Houlihan will move up onto the podium positions. Hobbsy P6, Callum Gibbons P7. Floydie is going to hold off his Mercedes teammate this season, O'Hara. Oh, I think that means... Oh, we will just wait a second in case there's been anything post-race to look at. But I think gap-wise, O'Hara hasn't done enough.
Yeah, I think he's still about 11 and a half seconds back from Paqueta.
Oh, I feel for the drivers here early on. There's a lot going on. Scott Blair was caught up in that, had to pit. And that's pretty much your race done, unfortunately, in this situation. Drifto, Schmifto finishes the season off nicely in the Ferrari, Scott.
Scott Blair. Nice job, mate. As Justin Cruz brings it around through Sector 3 for the last time here in Season 6.
Frantically just checking stuff. What the fuck? A couple have already jumped out of service, so I can't quite check it till it crosses over the line now.
Ooh, that Audi, Stephen Ty, I
And that's
say.
it! Finishes in reverse. Alright, one
GG,
second.
indeed.
Come on, tick over. So it has Andy in. Okay, I'll do that. Pick your mind up. So 0.7 seconds back from his teammate. That was the gap for the championship win. You see Paqueta finishes 7th, Madison 6th. So their penalties didn't drop them far enough. So congratulations to our Season 6 Pro Champion, Zachary Smith in the Aston Martin. Picking up the win in the final race. Did he just leave the server? No, better say. You need to go do some donuts, bud. So Zachary Smith will take the #1 car off Andy. Andy finishing P2. And you got a feel for him. That was a hectic final race.
It was a lot of drama.
Yeah, it wasn't really his own fault, that start line incident either.
So Hooley had 30 seconds of damage for that whole second race. That's a valiant effort, mate, to keep it on that the bottom step of the podium. It's great racing all around, apart from the start.
Just confirming the points. Zachary Smith finishes on 208 points. Andrew O'Hara, 207 points.
Wow.
Paqueta, 196. Houlihan, 192. Actually, I haven't updated Paqueta. She might drop down.
Keep it out of the grass, mate, honestly.
Take the back.
Didn't pick the best spot to go and do doughies.
So Paqueta finished 7th. She, I think, will drop down a spot. 7th is 42 points. I take the back. So Houlihan finishes 3rd, 192. Paqueta will finish 4th with 186. And Daniel Ladini will finish 5th with 165.
That's a good point, Matt Powell. 2 Aston Martins taking out both the Pro and Pro-Am championships this season. So, maybe a bit of an underdog car.
Oh, definitely. It's probably not quite top 4 car overall performance-wise, but because you can extract so much out of it on so many different circuits and be consistent in it, you just got a big chance to pick up the points. But well done.
Well, that was a great evening, gents and chatters.
Drama filled.
Appreciate the invite, but
Thanks, mate.
I
I'll
think
talk to you
it's
later
time
on.
to start working on season 7.
See you later, mate.
See you, Kyle Army.
See you, Kyle Army. Thank you very much, David, for your help this season.
No worries. Thanks for having me, mate. Thanks for putting up with me.
Always, mate. Always put up with you.
Hopefully we can be back in the box together season 7. That would be good fun.
Yep, and you'll be in the BMW or the Nissan.
Yeah, the Nissan, yeah. No, got to bring the people what they want. The Bender facts. Can't have them gone without.
No, we can't. All right, mate. I'll talk to you later on.
Have a good one.
See you, buddy. Thank you to all the stewards for all their fantastic work throughout the season. You guys are the real MVPs. I know it's not easy. I know sometimes the nights are very stressful, but you've done a stellar job, and on behalf of the whole community, thank you very much. Thank you to my commentary team. Fantastic work as always as well. Thank you for helping out, especially when I'm having a shitty day. And of course, thank you everyone for joining us tonight and watching throughout the whole season. You guys are absolutely amazing and we love it. Season 7 will be kicking off at the end of the month. I'll give you the dates right now. So the first round will be at Kyalami. I can confirm that. So we'll be off to South Africa for round 1. The first race weekend or race week will be the 29th and 30th of September. So keep out an eye on Discord. We'll have a classification server up very soon. But enjoy the 3 weeks off, and looking forward to another massive season of the Sprint Series. But up next, we've got Europe with their final week and North America with their final week. So yes, it's been a massive month or so. Next season, obviously, the Sprint Series will change to a 3-round finals format with a bigger emphasis on it. So, for example, right now, the top 2 are a point difference. But it's only 2 weeks, and a lot can happen in the bad categories over those 2 weeks. So a third round would really spice it up and give those that have one bad race a chance to have a bit of a crack at the championship. So I'm looking forward to that change as well. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. Take care. Be good, and I'll see you on Discord or stream somewhere very shortly. Alrighty-o. See you later.